living in Scotland most of the recent past, at least ever since I've known him. He's a real sort of elder around the One Heart community in that in the early days we handled money differently. We paid dues. Everybody who was a member of One Heart would pay $5 a month, and that would allow us to operate. And we finally had a light bulb go on that created an insider-outsider kind of exclusion ban, especially for people who didn't have the $5. And they felt, well, gosh, if I can't put in my $5, I don't want to come. And so Lewis taught us care-first community. I like to think of it as heart-first community. But part of that, and he's done a lot of work with finance and how to create abundance and how to come from a place that includes everyone. And so that he's really the originator of the blue pot concept that we use to create the financial flow for this event. And the secret of the blue pot really is that by giving to support a consciousness raising event such as this, you are going to bring great regiving from the all that is in the form of abundance for yourself. So I don't think Lewis needs a lot of introduction to folks that have been around One Heart for a while, although this is one of the, except for one of the very few homecomings, I think this is the first one Lewis has been in for quite some time. And so we're sorry Judy Beebe couldn't be here, but we are very happy that Lewis is here. And I'll tell you, the man's really humble. You know, when we found out he was coming from Scotland and offered to speak, and we said, sorry, all the slots are filled, you know, I wish we could give you something, but we can do a garden workshop. Well, the deepest humility, I'd love to do a garden workshop. I'd be honored to do that. Here comes the email from Judy Beebe. Here, everybody was really hearing about the hydrogen cipher and her work with water, and everybody went, oh, Judy's not going to be able to come. And in the next breath, oh, that means Lewis can have a speaking spot. So all good things come to those who are humble and who wait. Thank you, Lewis. This man's really amazing. Listen carefully to all that he has to say. The dinner will be served in the gardens after he speaks. I'm going to remind everybody to be mindful. Watch where you put your feet on this property. Be present. Keep your balance. And have fun, be safe. And thank you, Lewis.
And the concert is at 7, huh?
Yeah, concert is at 7 with Leah Morris. She is just fantastic. You all heard a song from her at the opening this morning. Her CDs are for sale or for donation, I guess, on a donation basis out there. And she does a tremendous blend of music, and anybody that can be around this evening won't want to miss that. It's going to be really, really good. Right now, we have a really profound being. Lewis, it's all yours.
Thank you, Richard. So, put it like this. So, welcome. I'm glad there was a little break, because I was thinking he delivers for 2 hours, and then I go straight after, but there was fortunately a break. When I heard that this space opened up, let me say first that with the things that Mellon was sharing and what we hear so much here, hearts, intelligence, I love to be together and build together. So I love this making presentations. It's great to hear that, but when I'm with a group of 20, 30 people, I like to talk for 10, 15 minutes and then work together. So when I heard that the slot was open, I said, can I make it interactive? I said, can we do guided meditation? He said, you do whatever you want. So he emails me back. He said, the title of your talk is... So that's humble, eh? Sort of. Experiencing the heart consciousness. Now, I've lived my whole life in my heart, and I say to Sandra, my wife, Sandra, what is heart consciousness? Is the title okay? Right? So we decided, yeah, it's okay. Now, yeah, I felt that. I felt that it was the right thing in the space. So what happened, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, but we touched base with the One Heart through this transformative work with money in 2004. And through that, I also heard about Walter and Leo Russell. Well, my wife and I are both intuitives, so we sort of have been in touch with them. And I feel that, of course, there must be an incredible energy in this place, because of whatever happened. And it's very natural for me to work with spontaneous guided meditation. So if I'm in the right space and I say, shall we make a journey together? I can say, go, and I can trust the things that come in as they come in. I'm very relaxed to do that with 15, 20 people in a nice little circle when I can see them all. But when I walked into this building and I thought, I'm standing here, there are all these rooms there, people are seeing me on screens, how do I do a guided meditation? So I got very nervous. And now I'm totally relaxed. So we can go and do that, but I have seen that when you really are in tune, it can do a lot. I don't know who was here this morning listening to Maggie McIlvaine. She talked about Gabriella Kapfer. Any one of you heard of her? Well, she's from the UK. She sings and she plays the cello. And what she will do, she will arrive in a situation and completely work with the energies present in the space. So all the tones she makes come out of the moment. And so I like this idea that we can do something that works with us all. So before we go there, I'd just like to share a little bit about myself and the heart. For me personally, the heart really is the most normal thing. Well, I slowly found out in life that maybe it's not like that for everybody. And I lived with my wonderful Sandra for 31 years. And a year ago, we were sitting in a room and she says, it's really hard for me to experience love. And I was I was totally flabbergasted. I said, really? She said, no, don't be so surprised, Louis, because you're the exception. Right? Meaning so many people are, for whom it's not so easy to feel their heart. For me, it's always been a natural thing. And so I experienced the heart as the most real, true, and fundamental experience of myself. And in that sphere of love, I feel that our true self lives. And my wife and I have had a healing practice for 30 years. We do soul reading and soul healing. And when I am with people, I experience every single person in the same way. And that is this beautiful being held in that love, held in that field of love, is their unique self. And when they talk to me about issues that they have, problems that they have, and we go into a process, the process that I do is that I'm psychically trained and I put myself in service of their higher being. So when they come inwardly, I say, I'm here to serve you. Can you give me the information that you need at this moment in time? So they talk about themselves and what is going on, and then I say, shall I have a look? So then the things that are coming in, they come from their inner field. But the experience that I have with them is that when you look at the issues that they have and the issues that they raise, that the healing process is all about coming back to that love, constantly coming back home to the heart. So, I said here, my wife and I are both intuitives. We use our sensitive perception to assist ourselves and others with our life's path and all we encounter on it. In my 30 years work with this, I always experience everyone in the same way. All of us unique presences with our essence grounded in love, even if it's hard for us to experience that love. And when we feel, or if we feel we have lost the experience of love altogether. So I started in 81 with this work. And at the end of the 80s, for some reason, I began to look at issues we all have with money, survival, and work. And then, of course, I watched simple things, like Mellon also touched upon it, like we want to come out with who we really are, but then we deal with this world and how we need to make money and survive. And for a lot of us, that creates a lot of pain and conflict. And there was something in me that felt that dealing with money in a transformative way was a really big key. And I had the intuition, with all the great things that we talk about and all the ideals that we have towards a better future, if we can bring that transformative energy towards transforming our whole situation with money so that it becomes a tool with which we can build the world, so that it becomes a constructive force, it can turn the whole culture. It can be like a magic key to do that. And then it was like, I felt an inner soul calling, like I really needed to deal with money. And I felt there that in order to make sense of this whole thing, I had to first transform my fears in relationship to my life with money, survival, and work, and find a foundation of love, a foundation of the heart. And I went through a whole lot of inner work, and in the early 1990s, I really felt that I was landing in this heart space, and from that place, I began to look at money and economics. And really, all that I did is, when I looked at any manifestation that was happening, I was asking myself, does it come from love, and does it produce love? Any financial transaction, if it wasn't, I thought we had a problem. So the heart, the love, was constantly the point of reference. And with coming into my heart, then a whole path of revelations opened up, which led to the main work I've been doing over the last 15 years, the building of a love-based economy and a care-first world. So my wife Sandra and I met the One Heart through this work in 2004, where we brought our workshop, Meeting the Mystery of Money, that many people here have experienced. And like Richard said, we also brought a blue pot to the One Heart. So I wasn't feeling so much that I would like to go deeper into this, although I'm sure that it would interest a lot of you. So tomorrow I have a breakout workshop at 1 o'clock where we can come together and talk about how to build a care-first world. So I'll read a little bit about this, but then I would like to take us on that journey together so we can more have an experience of ourselves and our heart. What is very interesting is that Mellon was so positive about the future, and I actually feel the same. I had experiences, 2 of them, in the last month, where I was certain that we as humanity would sort our problems out here. I didn't know when, but it was a very comforting feeling. It gave me a feeling, okay, I somehow know this in my body, so now when the difficult things are going on, I can see it all in that light. So when there are really difficult crises happening, I have to be with it and help, but I know that we're moving in the right direction. In relationship to applying heart intelligence and creating results, when I think of all the financial economic problems that I know, and I think of us as people resolving them, I think that when we sit together, know how to be in our hearts, collaborate, and are humble, we can resolve it all. And we resolve it all because our hearts know. And our hearts know in a common field. If it's not just about me or you, but we begin to work with what I call the middle, and we really are in our hearts. If we have to talk together about how to resolve some of these issues, I am sure that if we really sit in our care, really sit in our heart, we can resolve these issues. So that is how I see that the application of heart intelligence can do the whole job. That is my picture. what happened in 2010 that I came across a woman called Hazel Henderson. Any of you heard of her? No. Well, she's been into this transformation of finance and economics since the 60s. She used to talk about a love economy. She was describing that as the unpaid work of women and volunteer. You know, she would look at the whole economy and talk about the private and public sector, then the love economy, and then the earth. And she said, when we look at the economy, we look at the private and the public sector. We completely skip the earth, and we skip the love economy, what the unpaid work that the women do and all this kind of thing. So I met her, and through her I wrote my first book, which is for sale outside, Dare to Care, a love-based foundation for money and finance. So I'd just like to read 2 parts of this, and then go on our journey together. Love and economics. I have found that connecting love to economics, using love as the point of reference for assessing all economic actions, is the most fundamental thing we can do. I see love as the substance of the universe. My background is in counseling, assisting people with what is going on deep inside of themselves in relation to their manifested lives. In that process of self-healing, I find that love is always the point of reference. With every pain we have, conflict we experience, with every disharmony in our lives, we always seek to return to the center of love, our core, and every time we come home there, we find peace and all is in order. For me, this is exactly the same way with economics. In 1989, I began to look at issues we all have with money, survival, and work. I was always looking at our well-being in those areas. I was looking for answers to these issues and started building a vision for a love-based economy, a care-forced world, and a garden state on earth. I define a care-first world as a world where money is serving the well-being of people and the earth and is not used at the expense of that well-being. I define a love-based economy as an economic system with love and caring as its motivators, with sharing at its heart, and giving and receiving as its flow. I define the garden state on earth as a place of happiness and joy, togetherness and peace, where we are all well-fed, housed, educated, and healthy, and nature has been brought back to its natural abundance with its ecosystems restored. The care first that I talk about, we put that next to money first, and the definition of money first is really all use of money that goes at the expense of well-being of people, the planet, and our values. This care first is really taking off with a lot of people. We started a Care First Innovation Network. It's got 82 people now, all generations. The youngest is 13, the oldest is 75. We are in 11, 12 countries, and the intention of that network is to create a world governed by Care First. And one of the most powerful things in the network is the full collaboration between generations. We just had the gathering in Scotland, and there were young ones there, 18, 19, 2 of 26, 2 of 30. And what you see happening to these kids is that I think maybe as a sort of general picture, when you're young, you meet this world. A lot of us have not been called forward in who we truly are. So we might not feel invited with the dreams we have. And then we hear about this money that we have to make. Or we've seen our father and mother suffer because of it. What I've seen when the young ones understand care first in a real way, and when they meet it through, let's say, me or my wife, and are being heard and seen and acknowledged for who they are, because care first tackles the money issues at the root, they begin to see that they can create a practical path to make their life work. And they're so young, so then they see that it isn't there yet, but they know that they can do it, and they're willing to help to transform this world so that we really have what Mellon talked about at some point. We provide for ourselves and we can bring out who we are. So the first poem in the book, Dare to Care, a love-based foundation for money and finance, goes like this. The relationship between money and care is profound. When we dare to let care lead the way in all financial and economic processes, and money serves caring, a completely fresh, vibrant, and transformational foundation for finance and for our economies emerges. This foundation will bless us for generations to come and will fully sustain all we are and our beautiful earth. We call it the magic of care first over money first, where money is being used in service to our values and the well-being of people and the earth rather than at their expense. The new foundation we have created is love-based because care is love in action. This foundation and our cooperation with each other will set a new tone for the future of our economies and finance. As we truly meet and deeply listen, letting our hearts and minds speak to the issues at hand, heart's intelligence, a place opens up among us that serves us all. This common ground is where our global financial commons resides. It's a shared space in which we can express our concerns and apply our resolutions toward addressing the state of our financial world and of our economies. The sun can shine again upon all we recreate based on the voice of our heart and its intelligence, be it our monetary system, the functioning of our financial institutions, or transforming our lives with money, survival, and work. As we slowly but steadily make this breakthrough by keeping the best of what we've created so far and rebuilding what's malfunctioning, we will create what our hearts know to be true, a world where love reigns over each of us and over our cultures. Our children need us to relate, to give and to receive, as they so often naturally do themselves. We deeply need what our sharing heart feels and brings to us. That innocence is real. It's not something to lose as we grow up. So I'd like to ask you all to relax into your seat. Close your eyes. Feel your feet on the ground. And become aware of the space around you. You can feel it with your eyes closed. You can maybe also just open them up for a moment and just look at where you are, this building, where Leo and Walter worked, where so many incredible things happened, and this is where we are. And this is where I want to make an inner journey together. And I trust that we will be taken to the right places with the right guidance and receive the right assistance. So relax your whole body. Feel your body and go towards your heart. So that's the heart chakra on the chest, the place where you experience love. And just for a moment, notice what you feel in your heart. Are you relaxed? Are you happy? Do you see something? Do you feel something? What are you experiencing in your heart? Then I'm inwardly aware of 3 doors coming into this space. A door to our higher self, a door to our heart, and a door to the earth. So I'd like to ask us all to first walk towards the door that relates to our higher self. Now, in relation to being inwardly aware, I always say, completely be with what comes to you. So if I talk about a door and you suddenly see a white horse, that's what you are perceiving. So go with your own inner symbols and your own inner journey. So I watch us all actually walking in a row towards that door of our higher self. And I can see Walter and Leo Russell stand at either side of that door with an incredible smile. And I have the sense that they would like these processes, the things that they worked with, to be enlivened. Almost like working anew with what they brought. And we all know that Walter worked with that genius, that uniqueness in us all. So you're all invited to go through that door and see if you can be aware of anything of your own higher self. So just allow pictures to come, feelings to come. The inner worlds speak in a different way than our logical mind. It gives you experiences, sometimes pictures you don't understand. Let them all be there. So let's walk together through that door. If some of you are aware of each other there, let it be so. And I'll just leave you in silence to explore for yourself what you meet and can find of your own higher being. And I'll call you back. When you experience anything, see anything, treasure it. Treasure that communication with the worlds that Walter and Leo lived in. So just keep exploring your own higher being. I'm now seeing a picture where I see horses coming towards us. And each of us is receiving a horse, which creates a sense of freedom that I feel is natural to that higher self. So if you experience anything like that or want to imagine it, just step on your horse and ride the sky. And let's ride the skies together. And from there you can look over the planet. Be aware of anything that you see, anything that you are aware of. What does this planet look like from where you are? And know that through a process like this, we can all receive new, valid, important information that can help us practically. What do you perceive when you look at this planet as you ride through the sky on your horse? The next picture I see is as if we're all coming back into the circle, but on our horse. So we're facing each other in a big circle with our horses. And then I hear that we're going towards our hearts. Keep trusting the journey that you're on. If you're traveling yourself somewhere, let it happen. And let my voice just help you with whatever journey you're taking. So I see us going towards our heart. And in that picture, I see all of us on this planet connected. So I see the people in war connected. I see them connected while they're fighting. I see them connected. And I would like to strengthen that connection. I feel that our heart connects us. And that's what Maggie was sharing this morning, how her heart connected itself with the heart of a client in a surgery room. And the two hearts began to collaborate. So begin to explore your own heart, our hearts, and the hearts on this planet, and see where you go. I personally believe that in the heart we can find all the answers. Just see what happens to you. Can you experience your own heart? And what do you experience? Does your heart tell you anything? I then slowly see our bodies stepping forward. And I actually see us come down from our horse, standing on the earth. So, what is our body? What is that body that we live in? So, just be open to seeing that in a different way, or seeing whether you get any experience or even a new experience of what your body is. What is our body? What is the earth? Where are we here? I can see Leo and Walter Russell now digging holes in the ground here at Swannanoa. It feels as if they want to clear spaces underground. A lot of people have talked here about a crystal place in the earth here. What is here at Swannanoa? What is here in the earth? What can this place mean for the world? What can be done from here? What can we do in our bodies? I can see certain beings standing behind me on the stairs here. Wanting to help our consciousness to lift and maybe perceive some necessary things that can be helpful. There's always help. So I want to ask you to slowly come back to the space, feel your feet, feel your body, feel the chair that you're on. Let your body relax. And slowly complete the meditation or the journey that you're on. Now we can all slowly open up our eyes. Thank you. So, of course, normally when we're in a circle, we go round sharing our experiences. Because we could do that, sit here till 8 o'clock. What I would like to ask, is there anyone who feels like you would love to share something that you were aware of? If that was so, I would like to invite you to come up and share what you perceived. Yeah, you want to come? Just come here by the microphone.
Hi, I'm Marilyn, to all those that don't know me. When he started the meditation, I instantly heard a lot of chattering, a lot of talking, and I had to focus on following his voice and realize that there are all the helpers and guardians and guides that are with everybody here. So he said about the horse, and I saw a roan, and then I saw this white horse with wings, and got on the horse and experienced the flight. And then we went to this place, and there was this blue light, and this blue light merged with the white light and became one. And then I noticed that I had become the light, that it had merged within me. And when Louis guided us back to go to the earth and the other places, I realized that I was still this light. And I've still heard the chattering, the voices, and came, and I can feel it within me, moving like a pulse, a very gentle pulse. So that's it.
Thank you. Thanks. So, yeah, just treasure whatever you experienced and share with each other. If you feel like you would like to share what happened to you with anybody else in the room here, whether we've stopped, please do that. It's really, really good to live together in these worlds. And you know, I had a training on a psychic school 30 years ago, and the main atmosphere in that training was paranoia for the first 3 months. Like everybody sort of had the feeling, well, I must be half nuts, you know, what am I seeing? And like, I think a lot of us were maybe told that this level is imagination. It's incredibly clear and solid. I've assisted myself and people with this my whole life. And for some reason, I've been called to tackle finance and economics with being psychic. So I think I'm happy to close this space, enjoy things. You can find me by my table there with the book, Let's Talk More. And like I say, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I don't know exactly where we sit, I have to ask Richard. We have found ourselves in a really powerful dynamic of building that Care First world. I've walked around with a love-based economy and a Care First world since the 90s. And people always said, oh, there's Louis, this is a nice person. He talks about his love-based economy. Sort of, oh, that's nice, you know. I'm okay. And then I got here in 2009 to write the book. When the crisis had happened, everyone paid attention. They were shaking. They felt like, well, what is the new foundation? Maybe it is that care that he talks about. And of course it is the foundation. So thank you, bless you. I can hardly see you with these lights. But, oh, Jim. Oh. So, yes. And thank the space and thank all of us to be able to be here. And thank you, Richard. And you. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget, at 7 o'clock, we have great entertainment tonight, and so come back and enjoy. The young lady that sang this morning at the opening will be back this evening, and she's really good. So please come back at 7 o'clock and enjoy the rest of the evening, okay?
And support our food vendors.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. And also the food, Richard, is the Indian food, and there's another place.